Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Caroline and Katie's Guide to Cinema, Cannes Edition. Today, we have a very exciting episode. Caroline and I will be unpacking all things regarding the Cannes Film Festival.
Before we get started, you might be asking yourself, what qualifies these two girls to be talking about the festival? Well, Katie and I both interned with the American Pavilion this past May, my second year, and spent 2 weeks working at Cannes. This means we survived the red carpets, the screenings, the endless lines, and the croissants for dinner lifestyle. All so we can bring you our ultimate guide to doing Cannes right.
We've got our do's and don'ts ready and insider tips to help you guys navigate the madness like a pro.
So let's set the scene. Cannes is not your typical film festival. It's part Hollywood, part chaos, and 100% surreal.
Exactly. Imagine going into a festival where you have film students, celebrities, and industry veterans all packed into one seaside city. Oh, and everyone is in a tuxedo, even if it's like 10 in the morning.
Yes, so if you're going to a red carpet screening, a tuxedo is a must. Dress code is serious business, which brings us to our first do and don't.
Perfect segue. And I'm glad you brought this up, Caroline, because on one of my last days at the festival, I spent something like 8 hours in line waiting for a movie, only for them to turn me away when I finally got to the front because I was wearing sneakers instead of heels. So my first do for Cannes is always, always, always bring a spare pair of shoes in your backpack and do not try to sneak in with your sneakers. They're going to catch you and it's going to be really embarrassing, speaking from experience.
Definitely. Which also connects to our next do. Do pack at least one formal outfit. Even if you're not walking the red carpet, you might score a last-minute ticket to a premiere. Not all the premieres require formal dress, but most of them do. So it's better to come prepared just in case and not get turned away because it's really, really sad. It is. You don't want that to happen. It's good just to have it doesn't have to be expensive either. You could just get just a long dress, a longish dress. They're honestly not that strict. I've seen people wear kind of chill dresses where I was like, are they going to let her in? And then they do. So literally just dress heels, you're kind of good for women at least.
I had a short dress one of the days and they let me right in. So just bring a dress. Any dress will do. But don't assume that you're just going to be able to figure it out when you get there because Cannes moves really fast and the tickets will vanish in a second. So you have to plan your screenings really early and check the Marché de Film website daily. There were moments where I was literally rushing from the bus to my shift to the hotel and I was just refreshing the website constantly and I was able to snag tickets seconds before they went to someone else. And sometimes even premiere tickets, which was huge. So there is a way to see all of the really big films that you want. You just have to be really on top of your game.
Yes, definitely. Random hours too. I remember a lot of the nights it would be past midnight, I'd be refreshing and then I would get tickets to things. Mm-hmm. So all hours of the day, just refresh your page. It doesn't matter. And you might be asking yourself what the Marché is. And that's a great question. It's basically the business side of the festival. It's this giant market where producers, distributors, and filmmakers make deals. And it's a great place to network if you have access. Also, pro tip, where the bathrooms are. Very useful. I would change there when I was in a rush line for a premiere, bring my little bag with my dress and my heels. That's where I would go. Perfect location.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that it's the only bathroom in the entire festival area, but hey. So my next tip is do network respectfully. Everyone's there for a reason, but don't ambush a director while they're, trying to talk to someone else. Be respectful, be kind, and honestly, I found that just starting up any sort of conversation got people to talk to me a lot more openly, and people are more open to helping you than you think as long as you're kind and respectful.
Yes, definitely read the room. And don't forget to eat or sleep, which we learned the hard way that a screening at midnight followed by a 7 a.m. shift is not sustainable. Trust me, the amount of screenings that I fell asleep, at least kind of, during, embarrassing, terrible. Barry Lyndon Remaster, that was nap time. I was out. I tried so hard. As soon as that title card hit, gone. Not good at all.
Yeah, I would say definitely get your sleep in. You're going to be staying up really, really late. But I remember Mike gave us actually creator of the AMPAP program. He gave us a really good tip, which was if you spend 2 nights going really hard at night and you're out until like 2, 3 in the morning, you have to spend that next day relaxing. Like you can't burn yourself out too early on in the festival or you're going to regret it. So that brings us to my next question for you, Caroline. What was your favorite memory from the festival?
Honestly, my favorite memories have to do, unfortunately, with staying up very late. It was always a great moment at the end of basically every day to just hang out with everybody who was interning in the program and just like have a good chat, sit down moment. And that happened many nights. And was it emotionally, physically tolling and taxing and awful during the day? Maybe, but once those 2 weeks were up, it was all right. So I just pushed through, and it's okay because that bonding is something that's so special with everybody there in such like a cool environment and space. What about you?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I mean, I know we were just preaching the importance of sleep, but my favorite memory also comes from the day that I spent probably 12 hours in line to see Honey Don't, which ended up being just not my favorite movie from the festival, to say the least. But the experience of waiting with all my friends for 12 hours, we had people coming in and out of the line. I made friends with the people next to me. They were from Mexico and from France, and they were so like cool and fun to talk to. And just we entered a point of like delirium where we just like didn't even know what we were saying anymore, what was happening, and it was so funny. Everything was so funny to us. We hadn't eaten, so it was just like really just crazy hours after waiting for so long. And at the end of those 12 hours, they were about to let people into the cinema, and this guy comes up to me and he was like, oh, I have like an extra ticket. Do you want it? And I was like, yes, I want it. So I got it and I was actually able to go see the movie. And so were all my other friends that waited in line. And then we were all pretty disappointed with the film at the end, but we got steak and shake afterwards. So I think it made up for it.
Definitely. I feel like Steak and Shake could save any rough day,
Oh,
honestly.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Anyway, you're listening to Caroline and Katie's Guide to Cinema, Can Edition, the podcast where we dive behind the scenes of the world's most glamorous film festivals. So, let's rapid fire some insider tips for anyone heading to Cannes.
All right, tip number 1, learn a few French phrases. You really don't know how much a bonjour and a merci might go. It goes a long way. Don't go into a restaurant, just speaking English. Try to learn the language a little bit.
Definitely. And don't be afraid to explore beyond the festival. Some of our best moments were just wandering around the Croisette or having a picnic by the beach. Loved walking around the beach, ran into a bunch of random people, and it's just very nice. Nice vibes. Love the beach. Who doesn't love the beach? What a great location for everything to be around.
The ice cream by the beach was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely gotta try that. It's a classic. Tip 3, bring business cards or a digital contact card. You're going to be meeting so many people while you're there, and you'll thank yourself later for being organized. I actually handed my card to a few people, and they emailed me after Cannes, and they remembered me just because I had my card with me. So it goes a long way.
Yes. Tip 4, for screenings, arrive early, because even with a badge, lines can wrap all the way around the block. And the secret to Cannes is equal parts hustle and sunscreen. The sun will be brutal. You're going to be out in the sun. And the lines are always long, no matter what. Like, you're not going to get around it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. Hopefully you can grab a little tan, though, while you're there. Or a burn, if you don't have the right sunscreen. So, yeah, sunscreen, stamina, and a lot of croissants. You're going to be eating a whole lot of bread.
So, to recap, pack smart, plan ahead, and remember that Cannes is as much about the people you meet as the films that you see.
And please don't forget to enjoy it. Between the chaos and the glamour, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yes, so hopefully we've convinced you, and we'll see you there next year at the Pavilion.
Thanks for tuning in to Caroline and Katie's Guide to Cinema. If you like this episode, follow and leave us a review, and maybe tell us your dream film festival destination.